Giants 34, Eagles 17. Welcome to Giants Nation. I'm your host, Bobby Skinner, here with my co-host, the Football Grump. And it is not the first victory pod of the Giants Nation show era, but this is the best victory pod of the Giants Nation show era. Dude, Thursday night football, like, I can always kind of like get that, like, we're going to win this game, right? We always have a chance. I had never been like just so out on a team. And just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. The Giants' first time winning on Thursday Night Football since 2015, the Larry Donnell game. Saquon, that documentary came out a little too early, buddy. A little too early. He had 31 yards on his first 2 carries. Oh, that's nice. 36 yards after that. But nice tackle on Cordale Flott. Jaxson Dart was money. Put the team on his back with Cam Skattebo. Third down, don't care. No receivers, don't care. Cam Skattebo, 3 touchdowns running through soft-ass Zach Bond's chest. The Eagles, we got the elite whites. Elite whites. So that's okay, well, guess what? Those guys were Reed Blankenship. Maybe try and tackle at the goal line. Where was Cooper DeJean? And then at the end of the game, we just put I formation, run behind Daniel Bellinger and Andrew Thomas, and ice the game. Grump, I could go on a 20-minute monologue. I have not been this hyped in a long time for a New York Giants football game.
This was exciting. And right from the get-go, Giants started fast again in this game. And I even thought, like, on the opening drive for the Eagles, as the Eagles started with the ball, like, wasn't a bad showing just to start off. I also thought, like, one thing that you haven't mentioned, special teams through the last couple weeks, the kickoffs, opponents starting with bad field position has been a consistent theme, and the Eagles were just fully in disarray with special teams. They fumbled 2 kickoffs at one point, didn't kneel in the end zone for the 20-yard touchback, came out and started at like the 8-yard line or some shit like that. Another one fumbled out of bounds. They were just absolutely in disarray. And again, Jalen Hurts did exactly what I said. He wasn't really going to put the ball too much in harm's way. He was going to take good sacks, which I think that he did. The one interception, the Cordale Flott pick, was really just an excellent play by Cordale Flott and returned almost for time. I was like out of my seat. I don't know about you. I was like out of my seat, like flipping out, hoping that he was going to take that.
That was the play that got me from like excited, we might win this game, to like, all right, now I'm dancing on the Eagles' grave. I'm tweeting at Saquon Barkley, nice tackle attempt. I'm just like, I thought all the like anti-Saquon stuff after last year was like gone. It's like, all right, year 1 happened. Didn't even really think about it this week game. If it wasn't for that documentary that every Giants reporter tweeted about 27 times, I really wasn't even thinking about that. And then I'm just like, look at you, dude. You're not having fun. We are. Him not breaking that tackle by Cordale Flott or even trying was like weak. Just pump. Like and subscribe, by the way. Do it right now. Right freaking now. Like and subscribe.
This is the kind of show I want to be doing more often. This is what should be happening.
We weren't even not going to go live, right? We were going to just record our regular episode at 2 a.m., rewatch the game. Posted at 8 a.m. And then it's like, dude, we got to go live. Like, this is way too great of a moment to go live. But it really was the Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo show from start to finish. Like, the opening drives for Jaxson Dart have been, 2 for 2 the first 2 weeks. In fact, the fact that his 3 first games having an opening drive touchdown, only one other quarterback has ever done that. Patrick Mahomes. Bam. But it's like, all right, good game script. Jaxson Dart doing some stuff with his legs. This was not that, right? They got into a 3rd and 12 and it was going to be a 3 and out. He gets his first deep completion to little Jordan Humphrey. It's nice to have him on the team. He goes up and makes a big play, right? That training camp preseason rapport carries over. And then on the, the other 3rd and long, like scrambling up for a touchdown, like that wasn't like just a nice game script, hurry up offense. That was Jaxson Dart putting the team on his back. 3rd down was money all game. We can go through that on an individual basis, but him and Cam Skattebo were just playing with their hair on fire all game. Like, Jaxson Dart did some good things in the first 2 games, right? You won the first game, so it erases some of the negatives of that. the Saints game was bad, right? Like even the film, when you go back and watch, like this is even worse than just the 2 interceptions. This was just flat out prime time, tough opponent, and you just showed up and showed out.
It's unfortunate, much to my chagrin, we're going to have to keep hearing about Jaxson Dart's moxie because, he went 17 of 25 for 195 yards, so under 200 yards again. Only one
Felt like
throw.
400.
It really did, because the fact of the matter is that he was smart and he was efficient. You know what I mean? His scrambles were not panic, really. A lot of the time, dude. Also, his movement in the pocket isn't just he's mobile. Like there was one. Man, I wish I could remember who it was.
Was it the Wandale touchdown or one where he scrambled for like 15 yards to the left?
Yeah, the one where he went to the left. Number 30 on the Eagles, whose name I'm now blanking on.
Jahad Campbell.
Yes, Jahad Campbell just came up with armfuls of air. Like just has like that second sense of when to kind of move, because he was fully behind him. There's no rear view mirror when you're running with the ball. So he just kind of just shot over to the left at just the right time for him to just come up with armfuls of air. He just has excellent pocket movement, and he's always still looking to keep his eyes downfield and make throws. He was absolutely money in this game. So we're going to have to keep hearing about his moxie. But really, I mean, when you consider all of the factors into this game, it's a short week. You're playing against a Vic Fangio defense. I know Jalen Carter didn't play, but you're playing without Malik Neighbors. You're playing without Darius Slayton. And Theo Johnson in this game came out pretty small when they needed him most. Some timely drops were on good throws.
Yeah, dude. So like Jalen Carter not playing in this game was like a huge part of it, like because they just weren't able to get that pressure up the middle, and the Giants were able to just beat them physically in the run game. Andrew Thomas makes a huge difference. Daniel Bellinger makes, but like the Giants had Lil Jordan Humphrey, who's technically not on the team, as their number 1 outside wide receiver. So like I don't want to hear anything about if they had Jalen Carter or whatever, even though it obviously did make a difference. Dude, we're getting super chats like crazy. Unfortunately, we're not looking at the chat, but I do see that on the side. I very much appreciate it, but we got to do a podcast. So please don't feel offended if we're not like shouting you guys out. But like that's what his best, like what's Jaxson Dart's best ability right now? It's like I just don't understand how he just these like plays where he's in the backfield making guys miss. I'm like, how are these just not turning into negative plays, right? Like I thought like this would catch up to him, and it's like nope, he's just making guys miss. Whether it's to scramble, like he's done quite a bit, but like the Wandale Robinson touchdown pass, like that was the exact same play that he threw the interception on 4th down last week, right? So like, and he might like the pressure's there, like he might have even just hit Wandale, but he just makes like 5 guys miss in the backfield, scrambles to the right, Wandale's open, and then credit to Wandale, like. Our challenge for Wandale isn't like, let's start getting catches 30 yards down the field. It was like, hey, become a yak threat when you do get that ball in open space. And that's exactly what Wandale did on that and turned it into a touchdown. And it just felt like anytime they got towards the goal line, they were just able to keep, hand the ball off to Cam Skattebo, and he was able to just lower his head and pound it in for touchdowns.
We need a Cam Skattebo shirt in the Giants Nation store, or
we actually are. That might be out very soon. In fact, my t-shirt guy told me before the game we should have it tomorrow. So GiantsNationShow.com, get your ready to Darty shirts and Skattebo too. So, but yeah, Skattebo was obviously
Skattebo was on fire, dude. 19 carries for 98 yards. He was straight up bullying people. In fact, the refs started feeling bad for the Eagles, where they just threw like a bullshit taunting call at the end of the game. Just like, all right, chill out, man. You're killing them. No need to stomp all over them. But he was unstoppable. And like really, there's a couple things I want to do. So the Giants with 34 points, the only kind of like gimme you can give them is on the Cordale Flott interception, where it's like they were kind of spotted points by the Eagles, because you have the interception and then you have the DPI on Jalen Hyatt that kind of set you up for that. But everything else was just efficient offense moving the ball. Really think back at what the Eagles did. They had like a 4-play tush push for a touchdown. Like the Eagles offense really wasn't even doing that much in this game. So Giants were really dialed in. And again, Shane Bowen, I'm not going to sing his praises too much. He's been good at keeping offenses at low points per game, but it's a lot easier for him to, he is what he is. We're stuck with him this year. Who knows what his future is, but this defense is going to look a lot better if the offense can play with a lead.
Well, we said, like, you can't just play man coverage because they're going to win. And when the Giants did play man coverage, that is what happened. And the Giants pass rush was not good today. And once we get to the defense, but like at least like the third down, it's like, all right, they're throwing some like zone blitzes and fire zones and playing zone coverage, which again was like the exact same thing the Broncos, who played like the second most man in the NFL to the Giants, did and then had that success. So let's do Skattebo, and then I want to go back to Jaxson Dart, and then we could talk about this game from every other angle. Also, like, the Brian Daboll like actually lost his mind in this game with the concussion tent. So Skattebo, 1998, 3 touchdowns, dude. Like, he was just simply running through dude's chest. Like, there's so many different highlights and stuff in this game. There's one on the sideline where he just puts his shoulder through Zach Bond and puts him on his ass. The one touchdown where
was that the one right after Jaxson Dart had a maniac play?
Yeah, Jaxson Dart decided to dive headfirst into a guy.
Fun note, I want to look back at that. I'm almost positive Dart stepped out of bounds when he launched into that jump. Like, doesn't way matter. Short of the sticks.
Doesn't matter. He put his helmet through someone else's chin. Dude, I couldn't only imagine Saquon being on the other sideline, not doing anything, not breaking any tackles, and then just watching like, hey, this new, young, fun running back just putting his shoulder and his head through dude's chest. Like, he was just putting the team on his back at the goal line, right? The Giants' red zone offense is bad, but like the Giants just out-physicaled the Philadelphia Eagles. That includes the offensive line versus their defensive line. But Zach Bond, who was like, all-pro player last year for the Eagles, was trash. Was taking bad angles on Skattebo. Reed Blankenship is one-on-one at the goal line with him, and Skattebo just runs through him, turns around, looks at him. Like, that is what he has brought, is just like, I'm getting 4, right? Like, his average yards per carry, I think, on the season is probably like 4 total. He's just like, that's the way he plays. Like, I'm getting 4. And then if there's really good blocking in front of me, I'm going to get 13 and 14, and I'm going to make you feel yards 12 through 14.
You started to see what we were seeing, or what we were saying Skattebo could be. Late in the game, you start seeing him just be patient and just blasting through a hole and getting the 13. He ended this game averaging 5 yards per carry. So this was
on the season though, like I think he's like, before the game he was less than 4. He's probably at 4, whatever now. Like, it's not great, just like, efficiency numbers. It's just he's just getting you yards every play. He's not creating negative plays. He's just breaking tackles consistently. Like, he's going to lead the NFL in broken tackles this year.
Yeah, I mean, but that was always his special ability. So it's good to see that I had my concerns that wouldn't translate from the college level to the pro level between the tackles. I think I can safely throw all those concerns out the window. It looks like nobody is up to the task of bringing his ass down. I don't mean like you're going to find a highlight here or there where he has a negative play or someone brings him down, whatever. But on a down by down basis, this dude just doesn't care. He's always at 100 miles an hour, which is like the number one thing I look for, no matter what the position is when I look at a player. Does he always play at 100 miles an hour? And like Skattebo is like on turbo for that.
It's just a different, like, I hate using the word energy and stuff like that, but like, he brings an energy to the running game that was
he's just a football player, man.
So, dude, and that final drive, that was probably my favorite sequence of everything. Like, it reminded me end of Jags game 2022. Remember when the Giants just lined up and ran power 8 times in a row? They just put Daniel Bellinger at fullback, I formation, Andrew Thomas down block, Daniel Bellinger lead block, and then Skattebo just running through poor tackle attempts of Eagles defenders who just did not want to play anymore. I mean, they had 5 carries for 44 yards, or Skattebo had 5 carries for 44 yards on that drive until they put Singletary in and then did a Jaxson Dart QB sneak and started kneeling the ball. Like, I wish they would have given 1 more carry so he got into his first 100-yard rushing game. But regardless, like, that's the type of thing that gives you hope for the running game. And, every Monday I put out like where the Giants rank in scoring on both sides of the ball, and then passing and rushing. And so what's it like with Jaxson Dart? The Giants actually were like number 3 in rushing yards per game with if you use like from Jaxson Dart today, they had their best outing, 172 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 from Skattebo, 1 from Jaxson Dart. Like Dart's put up 50 rushing yards in all 3 games. Another stat that they showed where they're like only Lamar and Jalen Hurts have done that in their first 3 games of 50 plus rushing yards. So I guess it's just a Jaxson Dart thing.
Yeah, and let's get back to Jaxson Dart here. So I don't know how sold are you now? Like, I know it's 3 games. Let's be. I am tempering it back, but just where are you now with him?
It's big picture. I'm not even worried about. Like, this is what I'll say. The first game was a good first game for a rookie, right? Like, didn't do much as a passer outside the first drive, but whatever. Like, he used his legs, made some plays. The game against the Saints, where it's like everyone just like, oh, well, the interceptions weren't that bad when you compare them to other interceptions. But it's like, yeah, but he was just not hitting open guys down the field when you go back and watch the film, bro. This game was just money. Like, I don't care who was like, this was just like the game you would expect, like you're watching whatever Thursday night football game and the big time quarterback to have, where it's like when there was nothing there, he made something. On third down, the Giants as a whole were 11 for 15 on third down. He was 6 for 8, 91 yards, 4 runs for 28 yards, and they were and the 1 rushing touchdown. They were all high leverage, like Lil Jordan Humphrey, deep pass, right? He hadn't completed a deep pass in the first 2 games. Gets that off his back. Then he has the touchdown run on the first drive. And then, Theo dropped 1, right? Like blitz, just puts it up right in, like perfect pass, and Theo doesn't get it. Then he hits Theo on that corner route on the sail concept against man coverage before he got injured. He goes head first through the dude, on the one play that we were talking about on the sideline. Even when this one won't go down in the stat book, but the Jalen Hyatt defensive pass interference, that was a money throw. And that was kind of a bogus defensive pass interference call. And Jalen Hyatt just should have made that call. There was some contact, but it was that
felt like a makeup call for the bogus one on Adebo.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It felt like a makeup call for the Pulse on Adebo pass interference. And, Jalen Hyatt had, what he have? 3 catches for 17
They were all 5-yard
yards.
out routes.
Yeah, because they were just playing off. And eventually I think teams are going to stop playing just like zone coverage against the Giants and play a little more man, opposite of Jalen Hurts stuff. But like, it was just high leverage throw after high leverage throw, right? Like, he obviously used his legs, but it wasn't just using his legs. Like, both Theo passes were money. The Lil Jordan Humphrey was like good placement, allowed a 6'4" receiver to go up and make a play. The Jalen Hyatt one was probably like his best throw on third down, and then using his legs when they were there. Like, the third down compilation, which, I'll obviously post tomorrow, was just like, this is what I look for and young quarterbacks, is how they handle third down. That was the best part of his first game performance, and certainly was the best part of this performance for him too.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at Jaxson Dart, I'm extremely encouraged in these rookie performances. So there's like just a couple of things. So obviously he has the innate ability to move in the pocket and keep plays alive. He has the ability to just run, be a runner. And, we're seeing him develop that understanding of when to slide, when to put your shoulder down. We're still working on that, but there's growth there already. We saw last week with him choosing when to slide and things of that nature. I'm seeing him stand in the pocket and deliver throws and take hits. You know what I mean? Like, knowing when to stand tall in the pocket. The throws are on the money. Like, there's still some work to be done there. Obviously, I'm not saying these things are done, but just the things that I can like check off a box. Like, can he do this? Not necessarily can he do it consistently, but right now it's been 3 games in his rookie season. Can he do this? Yes, he can do this. Yes, he can do this. And the really good thing is his ability to scramble is so elite that like you can see defensive players, not even forget schemes, forget defensive coordinators. Defensive players are cheating in when they see him start to run. They're screaming down to make the tackle on him. And he's making these unorthodox, like, he still knows where all his receivers are. So he knows when somebody bails on their coverage, he's got a guy that he can just like dump over to his left, dump to his right. He can look downfield. So like, it makes it so incredibly difficult to defend a quarterback like that. So he's checking so many boxes. And then of course, the number one thing that checks the box that everyone won't stop talking about is just his ability to command a team. He just has that extra it factor that people can rally around. So I'm extremely encouraged from, the 3 games that he's played. There's still a lot of growth to be done, but right now where I am with Jaxson Dart is way further along than I anticipated at this point. For week 6, I didn't think I would know any of this information at this point.
Yeah, and again, there'll be plenty of time this season to have big picture conversations on Jaxson Dart. But the one thing where I do find myself saying is even if he doesn't have it all as far as drop back passing right now, is he's making enough plays to help bring him along until he gets a better mastery of that stuff. Similar to Josh Allen, year 2 doesn't have the talent that Josh Allen has, but a similar hey, I don't have it all figured out, but I know how to make plays to get me by as I figured out. And there's 2 other factors that I think have been key in his success, right? And one doesn't get talked about enough, and one gets talked about quite a bit. And the first one is body armor. Woo! You thought, oh, body armor. What body armor? And this victory podcast is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Rewrite your routine and choose better with Body Armor. Body Armor is real hydration with electrolytes, coconut water, and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. With great tasting flavors like strawberry, banana, and orange mango. Body Armor will level up your hydration game. Grab Body Armor Sports Drink today at your local grocery store. Body Armor, choose better. You'll be glad you did. I'm telling you, quick turnaround. You got to have your Body Armor, right? This was a big Body Armor week for us as Grump is muted. He's so full of Body Armor that he can't even speak. He went mute. He's so just amazed by the flavors, which none are artificial or sweeteners. Thank you, Body Armor, for this victory and this victory podcast.
You'll be glad you did. So people think that Jaxson Dart was getting checked for a concussion at one point in this game. Man just needed hydration. That's it.
That's the thing is, Dan Duggan had a funny tweet. It's the one test that Jaxson Dart is great at passing is the concussion test. He's 3 for 3. Was actually, you know what? Legally, I probably can't say the things that I'm about to say. I was going to say it it heals. Can't say it.
Yeah, you probably can't. Well, I will say this about Jaxson Dart and the concussion thing. I do think that who he is and how he runs, I think that he's going to be I don't want to say necessarily unfairly, but they're going to be looking for that more often than other quarterbacks.
Oh, and this time he was the guy who was down on the ground. I thought it was his shoulders. I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was his helmet came up. I thought his chin strap bashed him in the nose. That's what I thought. By the way he had acted, I think he's the type of guy when he does get a concussion, because he's going to get one eventually, he's going to just try and hide it and lie about it. So sure. That's why I thought it was a shoulder or something else, because I was well, he's actually letting people know that he's a little banged up. So I wanted to talk about the offensive line and how great they've been pass protecting for 3 games as the other part of this. But dude, Brian Daboll, not going to talk about his coaching or whatever. They definitely had a great offensive passing plan. I don't think I've ever seen a head coach act like that in my life. I'm starting to think these, Connor Hughes love story things are real, because Jaxson Dart's in the tent and Brian Daboll's following him in there, being what's going on? Is he okay? He's yelling at the doctor, being what's going on? Hurry it up. Jaxson Dart comes out of the tent. He comes and smacks him on the head afterwards. I was what is going on, Brian Daboll? This guy could be concussed, think it's 2017, and Brian Daboll's just get his ass back on the field. Partly because Russell Wilson decided to just throw a ball into the ground too.
I wasn't sure if that one was also Jalen Hyatt wasn't looking at all. He also had to scream at Jalen Hyatt to get it on the right side of the formation. But be that as it may, I actually thought that was more evidence that it wasn't a concussion at all. And that's what Brian Daboll was getting pissed about. I was well, then get him the hell out of there. If he's not concussed, then I want him out on the field. I don't even if it's his shoulder, I'll call a running play. Just get him the fuck on the field. Ugh, sorry. Yeah, I thought that was evidence that it wasn't a concussion. Personally, that's what I kind of. Because he was losing his mind. I don't think that I don't know. I just don't think that you do that if you're concerned.
I know,
about a
but it was
player.
still crazy. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen a coach just be like basically like trying to drag him out of like the tent, you know. Like if he had a lighter, I think he might have lit that tent on fire or something. Like I was like, what is going on, Brian?
Yeah, that was
usually,
bizarre.
Usually what we wanted to go live, so I didn't watch the press conference, but like I can't wait to hear. Maybe I can go and see if like any of the reporters tweeted about what he said in there. Let's see. Give me like 10
we'll probably
seconds.
find out. I mean, you could text somebody too.
Here we go. I apologize directly to our team physician. I wanted his ass out there if he was okay. I'm like, is he going to be good or not? I'm going to call a timeout on 4th down and go for this son of a bitch.
Okay.
So let me bookmark this and I could just play this audio so people can hear it.
A lot of people are calling for Jameis Winston to be the official number 2. Where do you stand on that?
I fully agree with that. Like Jameis can run a Jaxson Dart offense way better, and Russ is just like I actually think like if this team is trying to win games and stuff, that actually is the truth. And if let's say Jaxson Dart doesn't get injured, they kind of need to put Jameis in. So just make him QB2 now instead of having to do this pass over wrestling if something happens. So I'm going to play the clip.
TV cameras was on your sideline. So you wanting to go in, find out what's going on. Skattebo, I think, at one point tried sneaking in there, trying to find out what was going on. Could you just describe the emotions in that moment? I'm sure you're, what's going on.
I mean, look, if you've ever been on an NFL sideline, there's a lot of emotions. I know I was asked about gloves the other day. There's a lot of emotions. And I certainly am an emotional guy. I apologized directly to our team physician. I just wanted his ass out there if he was okay, but I wanted the process. Like we were getting ready to go for it on potential 4th down. I would have burned a timeout if he could have came out there. So I was asking, how long is it going to take? So again, you want your guy out there, not at risk of anything else, but he came out. I think he's going to be good. I'm like, is he going to be good or not? I'm going to call a timeout on 4th down and go for this one. You know what I mean? So I love our doctors. Pat, I'm sure you're going to ask me about that, so I'll just give you the answer. I apologize. I was in the wrong.
Oh, he's real cocky. He's like, I'm sure, Pat, you're going to ask me about, because the whole like Ronnie Barnes thing a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Pat Leonard also was the one who asked about the gloves, right?
Yeah, which sometimes when people get mad at Pat Leonard, I was like, I bet you he knows something and is going on. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
So that was just I mean, Brian Daboll just lost his mind in the moment,
So,
which again I can definitely relate to there because I lose my mind too.
So you were talking about the offensive line. So a couple other things to know. I thought that they were run blocking a lot better in this game, and also John Michael Schmidt's going out, Austin Schlottman going there, and just bullying dudes too in the run game. I think. I mean, we have to rewatch, but a couple of plays where I saw him just get good push off the line. It was late in the game though.
The whole run game was like doing well. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I was focused on Austin Schlottman, but I was just like watching like Thomas pin guys down, Bellinger take the inside shoulder of a linebacker and just creating holes. Like those guys have been able to figure it out the run game wise. The Eagles are soft, right? Like we should do a whole like just Eagles segment. Like that's a soft defense. And hell, they're a soft offense too. Like what is wrong with Jalen Hurts and Saquon, dude? Like what is going on with Saquon playing? That was a weak ass game from Saquon.
Yeah.
Like him open field, and you just let's say
that's supposed to be his bread and butter, man. Like that's supposed to be where you're special.
Yeah, Cordale Flott's like 118 pounds, and he just easily tackled you. Like that was some like 2021 Saquon stuff. Like Saquon had 2 carries for 31 yards and then 36 yards the rest of the game.
Yep. So, I think in the second half he only had like 10 or something like that.
It was. Hope you're having fun. You won a Super Bowl, but
yeah, they held him to 58 total yards. I will say on defense, Paulson Adebo got picked on quite a bit, and Dallas Goedert was like an issue.
Yeah, sucker punched him once in South Dakota. Let me finish with the offensive line.
Sorry, my bad.
And then we'll go to the defense. I just want to get, and I do want to talk about the receivers from a standpoint too. Dude, they kept them clean like all night, right? Like they're obviously not perfect or anything, but like this is 3 games where Jaxson Dart, where again, we look to blame, fans look to blame the offensive line for any type of mishap, right? This is 3 games for him where the offensive line has kept him clean. And not only like sometimes there's obviously going to be pressures that they gave him and stuff. But like when it's a pressure, it's one pressure, right? Like there's different types of pressure. When you look at like pressure stats for a quarterback and stuff, it's like, all right, well, there's times where your left tackle just got smoked off the line of scrimmage, your center's being driven back, and your right guard just got beat. And yeah, that counts the same as like, your front side tackle letting a guy around the corner. But like, it's allowed him to make plays in the backfield where he's not surrounded by 5 different defenders. And I think he had 1 sack in this game, and that was totally on him. Or no, he had two sacks for 1 yard, right? So those aren't offensive line sacks because those are him running and not getting back to the line of scrimmage. And I think he had 5 sacks before this, and 4 of those were accredited to him. So like he's been like the offensive line has been protecting him, right? There's obviously the wide receiver issues were a huge worry, but like that is a major difference. One, Andrew Thomas being back. And I'll say this with Andrew Thomas. 2 things, actually. One, seeing him against Azeez Ojulari was like, this is like memory lane, dude, right? Like, getting like some leak of some Georgia football clips and then training camp. I remember, 2021 training camp clips, and when we weren't there, of him going up against each other. I remember Andrew Thomas being at Azeez Ojulari's draft party the night he was drafted, and I was like, oh, he just put Azeez on his ass, and I was like, that was cool to see. But like, Andrew Thomas missed the first 2 games. He's playing at an all-pro level. Like I'm starting the award campaign again, right? And I think that actually helped him get all-pro in 2022 was the weekly like awards now. Awards again, like it's starting back up. Andrew Thomas awards again because he's playing at like an all-pro level. We don't have the numbers on this game, but he gave up 0 pressures through his first 3. I don't remember any time the defensive ends pressuring Jaxson Dart because of Andrew Thomas.
So there's a lot of things at play here. So I think that the organization was unfairly criticized for bringing back the exact same starters on the offensive line. And I thought that this was a good offensive line last year. I mean, you do have somebody who has got an
Andrew
extra
Thomas holds it together.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Well,
and the interior is not great. So the interior is not great individually, right? And you put any of those interior guys one-on-one, they're not great. And they don't get pushed in the run game, except for today. But the one thing they do well is you have 3 guys who know where to be at the right time all the time, with John Runyon, JMS, and Greg Van Roten, and then Jermaine Illuminor is just good and smart. So, oh, no way.
What?
Is this person lying to me?
I don't know what you're talking about, but one other thing I wanted to point out about the sacks.
This is huge breaking news, and you get back to the offensive line.
Yeah, go ahead.
My first ever podcast was in 2018, March Madness. First ever one. Who was the madness of March that year?
I don't remember. I don't pay attention. But
rest in peace, Sister Jean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just saw
it
at 106. She just retired, dude. It's the whole thing. Like the people don't want to quit because they're worried they're going to die. I need to tweet it out from the
shock of this win just has insane ripples out there. That's
crazy.
That's pretty sad.
I just tweeted from the Simple. That's a big one for the Simple Man Radio account. Wow. What were you saying about the offensive line?
Oh, one thing that's helped them in this game specifically, this is the first game where Jaxson Dart didn't have a blitz coming that he didn't see coming. So last week against the Saints, I think it was called back or something, but he got absolutely smoked. The game against the Chargers, he also got smoked on a blitz he didn't see coming. The hard count was put to really good use in this game to identify who was going where pre-snap. And he had everything accounted for once the ball was in his hands. So that's a huge jump forward. And that helps the offensive line. You know what I mean? Like there are definitely times where a quarterback can make an offensive line look bad, just like an offensive line can make a quarterback look bad. It's a symbiotic relationship, and that's some progression right there from Dart. Now I don't know if that's something where it's like the coaches are installing that more or whatever, but and through all of that, I think there were only 2 false starts the whole game, one for Humphrey and one for Illuminor, I think.
Schlottman definitely got one.
Schlottman got one, that's right. But again, that's a backup center.
Yeah,
so
which is good. It was good to see. All right, Schlottman is the backup center. They're not going to play games. So yeah, offensive line, and then let's talk about the wide receivers. Right, Wandale.
I want to dispel this idea, this notion that's out there that Wandale can't break tackles. If it's like the one thing he's actually really good at.
But he hasn't done it a lot, right? And that's like been my challenge for him. Like, again, everyone in the offseason is like, get him passes down the field. It's like the Dallas game obviously worked well. I was like, that shouldn't be the focus. That's not how you get the most out of Wandale. It's by allowing him to get a little more space and break tackles, where in the quick game, in the pass with Daniel Jones, it's like, hey, he catches the ball and he's being just slammed down on, right? So, like, get him in open space a little more and have him break tackles. That is what you need, right? Like, that, again, that touchdown catch that he had was that wave that Brian Daboll loves. He brought it from Alabama. That's the interception that Dart threw last week. Like, he's open, right? It's a zone beating play, right? Wandale did not just do some like crazy route run, but he's open in space. He catches it, now turn that into a touchdown, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I think in the past, what served against him is that just because of the nature of the offense, for any number of reasons thrown out there, Daniel Jones, the lack of weapons, the bad offensive line, I don't care what but he would break one tackle, but be surrounded by 4 other dudes. And you're correct. He can't break 5 tackles in a row. But he is usually good at making the first guy miss. So just like you said, if you can get him in situations where he's in space and he's only got one man to break a tackle, I'm pretty comfortable with him in that situation, putting money on him breaking that tackle, or at least fighting out of it. I think that this is where Wandale can live and breathe. Unfortunately, it's going to be difficult to continue to do stuff like this without a Malik Neighbors, as part of this offense. But he came up big in this game. He was 6 for 7, six catches on 7 targets for 84 yards. Yeah, don't do that, please. For a touchdown, and that was a huge touchdown. 35 yards on that one. And like I said, that's mostly him doing stuff.
And they finally hit that wide cross play earlier on that, like that 20-something yarder that's
going across to the left, right?
Yeah, like they've ran that a ton, and the teams have just guarded it well. And
that was a great throw.
So if the Giants lost, one of our things would have been like, I cannot believe that Lil Jordan Humphrey he's technically still not on the roster. And they just were like, yep, we like Bo Collins and Jalen Hyatt more for Lil Jordan Humphrey's their best outside receiver now with Slayton. Like 11 personnel when Slayton comes back is now Slayton, Lil Jordan Humphrey, and Wandale Robinson, right? Like he had the big catch down the field, using his size. He had a couple quick game passes too. So like he's just someone who has, like we're said, is like the most accomplished player out of those 3 by a wide margin in the NFL. He's just starting. And then Hyatt had those, like, again, teams are going to play off like, hey, anybody can run and go quick out. Then those, I thought he caught that other one that they said was hit the turf, but they didn't give a great replay of it. And then that deep one was like, that's one you got to make. You got to make that play against Keely Ringo. But so Hyatt, someone said they're going to buy me a Hyatt jersey if we won, so I want that. I might ask for a Tennessee version of it. But Lil Jordan Humphrey should be like, don't even do practice squad elevations. Just put him on the damn roster. He's on the routine for the rest of the year.
And also, I think he's the only one on the roster that gives him a contested catch element. Just because of his size. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, if I could hear you, I would be agreeing with you all.
That's what he does. Like, that's what he's done in his career, is make the contested catch. Like, so.
But there's nobody else that really gives him that. I mean, maybe Bo Collins does. We have no idea, but I'm not betting on that right now.
And that's been a weaker part of Dart's game, has been the deep pass. He was 0 for 9 coming into this game. But, like, Humphrey is, like, kind of the perfect guy for it because, like, again, he has that size to make those, because he's not overthrowing them. If anything, he's underthrowing them a little bit. All right, let's do the defense. Cordale Flott, dude. Like,
my guy. Hang on. Real quick. Did Deontay Banks have a snap, and did Bo Collins have a snap? 0 for both, right?
Yeah, I think 0 for both.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what won the game, is no Deontay Banks. It just
hell yeah.
Team. We talk about vibe and moxie. That just it kept the team alive.
Let's give Cordale Flott the kind of hot and cold that we gave Drew Phillips too, because one reason that this game was such a there was an absolute blowaway coverage of Devontae Smith, just wide open deep, that Jalen Hurts overthrew. So that was on Cordale Flott, I think.
Yes. Yeah, again, it's Jalen Hurts. He's bad, dude, right? Like, isn't he just bad? Like how can you have all this talent?
He's efficient.
And also Nick Sirianni, it's like, hey, dude, you just need to stop hiring in-house offensive coordinators because it never works. So yeah, and the tush push too, dude. Like it sucks. Like anyone ever defending that, get out of my freaking face. Like the whole like, oh, you guys are just mad you can't defend it. No, it's a stupid play. It's a very stupid play. Now you're seeing they false start on it every freaking time. Okay, it used to be illegal in the NFL to push somebody forward, and because of that type of play, and then they made it legal again. So in the open field, like you could push the pile, right? That's what they made it legal so you could push the pile in the open field when someone was getting stood up or whatever. It's not to do that. So it's going to get banned in the offseason. And he's not a good quarterback. Like I'm might be overreacting a little bit. There's been times where I thought he was better than people gave him credit for, but dude, like the first third down, they get in a zone blitz, right? The fire zone. They send Drew Phillips, drop guys back out. Then they stunt as well too. Like
short throw to Goddard.
Yeah. So like, again, he made some plays and stuff, but like he has 4 all-pro players that he's throwing the ball to or handing it off to.
I was never really a big fan of Sinbad myself. Yeah, I mean, he was what I thought he would be, like just efficient with the ball and just not going to put it too much in harm's way. And like, that's great. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to cause turnovers or be unnecessarily risky with the ball, but like you want to be a little risky with the ball. Like this isn't, you can't live and die that way, just being safe all the time. And that's kind of what it felt like. I mean, other than the one shot play with Smith where the Giants just busted coverage, you're just looking at like chunk plays of like 10 yards down the field. A lot of this offense was just hitches to Dallas Goedert for about 10 to 15 yards. That was most of their efficiency throughout the night. Which again, remember that the Giants are playing with like basically nobody at linebacker. Deontay Banks, they don't feel comfortable putting on the field. So it's like that's just like a gimme advantage right there. That's not really Jalen Hurts or this offense doing anything spectacular.
Yeah, and this is part of the disadvantages too. I want to say is going live soon after the game is like we got to do a little watch the film, bro, on what exactly happened on defense and why Dallas Goedert was always open and stuff. But how did they stop the run and whatever? But like what we don't need is like Brian Burns has 7 sacks in 6 games. This is a guy who's gotten double digits once in his career. Once in his career, he's got double digit sacks. So let me do some quick math here. All right, so let's
7
see.
sacks in 6 games. There's
7 divided by 6, 7, 1.16, 1.16 times, 1.16 times 17 is 19.75 sacks. So he's going to have a 20 sack season. Maybe he breaks the record. So
he has 7 sacks in 6 games.
Yeah, dude.
And over an 18 game span, you got less than 20.
Well, they play 17 games in the season. I mean, if you're including our playoff game, then sure, maybe we get in there.
Sorry.
Yeah, but
game, he'll definitely do.
Even though Brian Burns did have 2 sacks in this game, the pass rush was not getting there. And also, I'm going to say this: like this is my only negative take of the game. Something's up with Dexter Lawrence, dude. Like I saw him get driven off the ball 7 yards. Like this interior group is not good for the Eagles right now. They have Matt Toth and Tyler Steen and Cam Jurgens, like who Dexter handled last year. He's no Jason Kelsey at all. And I understand they're doubling him, but like he beats those doubles in the past, right? And when he's one-on-one, he's not dominating. Like I'm like hashtag worried about Dexter Lawrence. Like it's not just double teams. He's not playing at the same level that he has over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. He was limited to 31 snaps on an illness on Sunday. It is only Thursday, maybe quick turnaround. I don't know, but there's I don't know. Yeah, again, like
I don't know if it's the elbow conditioning.
That's what I mean. Like he didn't do much in the summer.
He's just not playing the same way this year.
No, not at all. I mean, like he was playing his ass off last year. He was absolutely unstoppable, especially at the beginning of the year. I mean, he was just absolutely crazy. So I mean, maybe the arm is some of it. There's definitely some atrophy there when you get all like cast it up or whatever. I mean, I don't really know what the treatment is for the dislocation of his elbow or what. It was a dislocated elbow, right? That he suffered.
Nah, I don't. Hold on. What was?
Well, it's a joint injury anyway, so that probably immobilizes the entire arm at a certain point, whatever. But I don't know. We're 6
It
weeks.
was a dislocated elbow. Why? I don't know why you didn't know that.
Yeah, sorry. I'll do better. Another thing though, Brian Burns was playing at stack linebacker for whole drives in the second half too, and I think even one of his sacks came off of a stack linebacker line.
Yeah, and they're doing stunts, right? Like so, Abdul Carter, as much as he did stun Lane Johnson play, and that's another thing about the Eagles. Like Lane Johnson just false starts all the time, and it's like
Tyler Steen too. I called it, and I hope people saw it now. He's just like he's moving all around. He's not even set half the time. He's just standing up. Pisses me off.
But like Abdul Carter set up like that first sack with Brian Burns on the stunt. What they're doing is like they're putting Carter and Kayvon on the edge, and Kayvon's been a great run defender this year, and certainly showed it in this game. I think he had 2 tackles for a loss in this game. They credited him with 1, but like Kayvon was playing very well, even though he didn't give you the pass rush juice you were looking for. So they're putting Dex at nose, Kayvon and Carter on the edge, and then they're having Okereke and Burns stand up over the guards, or vice versa. And it's like they're setting up those stunts where it's like you got to keep 6-7 in. Damn, I keep doing that freaking thing.
Please,
you got to keep like 6 or 7 guys in to block these guys if they're going to be doing that type of formation. And then once you start protecting against that blitz, hopefully the Giants can counter and counter off that and put together a new blitz package. So Cordale Flott, dude, interception, unbelievable. The tackle on Saquon, beautiful. Again, didn't play perfect ball, but good ball. Adebo, I just want to start seeing him make plays.
I thought that was not. I thought that was an excellent play, the one that he got for the DPI. I thought that was beautiful.
The pass interference was, it was a good play, but he got targeted.
Yeah,
not exactly sure why Goddard was getting open. Again, that's something we got to watch the film on, bro.
What did you think of the Goddard touchdown? That weird swing
a swinging gate touchdown. I don't know. It just is.
I don't like.
Is, I guess.
Like it, I'm uncomfortable making that play call personally. That looked like it could be an absolute disaster.
Again, that's one of those things where people are like, "Oh, great play call," and I'm like, "Yeah, it worked." And the Theo Johnson touchdown from 2 weeks ago, I was like, "I hate that play call. It worked. I hate it." So there's that, and I did sucker punch his ass. I want to finish off with this, and this is a little bit of a buzzkill. But did at any moment, once you realized the Giants were going to win, did you say, "Why did we have to lose to the Saints? We could be on a 3-game win streak,
Saints,
and 3
Cowboys,
Jaxson Dart. Forget even the Cowboys game, right? Like the Cowboys game, they lost, and their defense got smoked by Dak, and if they play the Cowboys again, there's a good chance they lose, right? Like, as great as Jaxson Dart is, like, that performance from Russ was out of this world. It was the second most passing yards he had in his career, and that was only because he had negative yards on a screen pass at the end of the game. Just with the Saints, dude, I'm just like, we would be 3-0 under Jaxson Dart. We would be simply 3-0 under Jaxson Dart with a primetime win. Like, we would be the story of the NFL. I mean, do you remember we won 3 games in a row under Joe Judge and we were in first place at 5-7? Like, I'm not even talking about the record, right? Like, well, we have plenty more time to talk about big picture stuff. They are 2-4. We'll see how things turn. We do play the Eagles again. And
in 2 weeks,
17 days. This is gonna be a nice 10 days off, by the way, too.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be chilling on the couch on Sunday, man.
Usually Thursday Night Football sucks because it would come out of the Giants' first win of the year. And then it's like, I only get 3 days to enjoy that, and then 10 days to have heartbreak. It's the exact opposite this week. But I just wish we would have beat the damn Saints.
So 2 things here. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It when we were kind of heading towards the 2-minute after the Flott interception, maybe 2 drives after that or a drive after that, I started getting that kind of thought creeping into my head. But another thing, we didn't talk about this. The Brian Daboll timeout in the first half, at the very end of the first half, I was almost ready to jump off of my balcony. I was really close to losing my mind. That is one of those things where like you look and it's like, well, Brian Daboll should stay. Like if they go on this crazy winning streak, and Jaxson Dart is the man and he is him, and you're like, well, you can't separate Brian Daboll now. It's like these are the things that he just does all the time and has always done that are like head coach things that are just like, I don't want this guy to be my head coach. It's just shit like that.
Yeah, he just loses his mind, dude. I don't know. I don't. There's no way to explain that one because he's like
Somebody said that there might have been 12 guys on defense, but again, you have to be as the head coach looking at the play clock and being like, just knowing shit. And also, that's not a better reflection on the coaching staff that they have 12 guys on defense out there.
Yeah. It explains it. So, dude, I was ready for like a little mini bye week from the Giants because the season has been kind of rough and I thought this was going to go well. Now it's just like 10 days to bask in the glory.
I'm ready for mailbags and stuff.
Oh, dude. So yeah, let's talk a little. So one, I was like planning to put the film review out Monday and not like rush it. I'm going to rush it. It'll be out Saturday, whatever. It's going to be on patreon.com/GiantsNation. So please go support us there. You're pointing the wrong way. And you're muted. Get it together, Grump.
Not from my perspective. This looks wrong on my end, but that's okay.
But patreon.com/GiantsNation. One, it's just a way to keep this show alive and support it. And we'll give you stickers and all that good stuff. But patreon.com/film review. So let's brainstorm a little bit. I'm thinking of doing a Cam Skattebo film breakdown as the film video this week.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm trying to do different things besides just O-line report and stuff.
Well, I think
and I could even do an O-line report as well too,
saying.
like later next week. But like I kind of want to do different breakdowns and take advantage of moments. I kind of want to do the Cam Skattebo film breakdown and break down the Giants run game a little bit from this game.
I think that's a great idea because also some O-line trickles into that anyway. Also, sorry, not to distract, but who's the rookie of the week here? Is it Jaxson Dart or is it Cam Skattebo?
Quarterback always gets it.
I know. All right.
Here's the thing. The Commanders are also rigging that award again. I don't say that award anymore because we're a body armor show. But the Commanders rigged it last year for Jaden Daniels and like they had like bots and stuff voting in it. And now they're doing it with their running back, Krosky Merritt. But so let's talk. So again, we're going to do the mailbag will be out. We're planning to have it out on Tuesday. Now I'm like, maybe we just do it on Sunday and put it out. I don't know. Let us sleep on it. But dude, appreciate you guys supporting, like and subscribe. I'll say this, and we're just like acting like we just want a playoff game. But the enthusiasm for the show goes away when the Giants play like they had done over the first 5 weeks. And I was like, yep, another year where this is just going to be like, you're going to have the diehards, and I love the diehards, and they will keep this thing going, and they always will keep it going. But it's like, it would just be nice for the Giants to throw us a bone. And this is freaking that, dude. So I'm so excited to come on here and not be up until 4 a.m. analyzing a loss and saying the same things over and over again. So 10 days to enjoy this, Giants fans. Enjoy it. Enjoy it a ton. Plus a primetime victory just hits different. But anyway, so Grump, you got anything else before we go?
No, I mean this now that we have the win out of the way, we can sit back and just enjoy Sunday, watch football, watch around the league, take a gander at what the Denver Broncos do this week. Final thought, that Devontae Smith overthrow was just an absolute dagger to my fantasy team. I mean, that
Grump's fantasy team.
Yeah, really. Everything I picked that's the right move just doesn't work that week. So, yeah, I don't have anything other than just soak it up, guys. Like this is good all around. This was a great win. We beat a rival. We won on Thursday night. We broke the corgi race curse, and we're seeing positivity from our quarterback, some growth every single week. So this is the time to puff your chest out and enjoy shit. So enjoy.
Yeah, and drink Eagles tears. Talk a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, stomp all over. They are big mad. They're gonna keep being big mad all week.
Gonna enjoy. Maybe I'll listen to WIP. All right, so we will see you guys when we see you. Again, like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you when we see you. Until then, let's go Big Blue.